If you got it, flaunt it. Hey everybody, welcome back to Listography. Jason and Krams are here for our Side 3 Bob Dylan video. Side 3, we kind of just look for inspiration from the artist. It's not necessarily always about them. So for Bob Dylan, we are going to talk about some of our favorite unconventional singers, if you will. Singers with bad voices, strange voices, unique deliveries.
Yeah. Singers that essentially would never be teaching voice work at a high school or college.
Yeah, you're not gonna. These people wouldn't pass the American Idol audition, probably.
In no way. Yeah.
You start. Okay, I'll start. But that doesn't mean they're not great. And I also want to qualify that I think Bob Dylan is a great singer. I think he knows how to deliver a tune, and yeah, better than almost anyone. All right, I've got more than 5 written down here, so I've got to decide which ones I'm going with. There's one that I want to list, but I think you probably have it too, so maybe I'll leave it off and mention it at the end if you don't have it. I'll start with number 5 being Ian Hunter from Mott the Hoople, and went on to solo work as well. I think he's very Dylan influenced. He's got a Dylan thing going on, but also he's got his sort of own sound. I think he's one of the best rock frontmen of all time. Maybe my favorite ever. So we'll get started there. Ian Hunter at number 5. Number 4, let's go with Joe Walsh. Kind of a strange voice, kind of different. I don't really even know how to describe it other than if you've heard it, you know it. Number 3, how about someone a little more modern? Alec Ellsworth from Clap Your Hands, Say Yeah.
I also have him.
Well, we'll try for no duplicates here. Number 3, then. How about someone else more recent? How about Jeff Mangum from Neutral Milk Hotel? Kind of a high, nasally, strange voice, but those Neutral Milk Hotel records are fantastic. Great songwriter. Number 2, how about David Byrne from Talking Heads? Kind of a unique delivery, and I believe he was quoted as saying, the better someone's voice is, the harder it is to believe them. So the perfect quote for this video. And at number 1, I don't know what to go with here because I think you probably have this on your list, but I want to talk about it.
Who cares? That's just going to reinforce how much of our like-minded geniuses. If it's the same, it is what it is, Jason.
How about Jay Mascis at number 1? Not only is his voice strange, but I think people really criticize him a lot for his singing. He gets called lazy or lackadaisical, but I think he has one of the most emotive voices of all time. And especially when he double tracks his voice, it just sounds unbelievable. And I think he's one of my favorite singers of all time, and I don't understand that people not liking his voice. I do get where they're coming from. His delivery is kind of slow and drawn out, but it just works so well for me.
Well, I'd like to first start off by talking about how much I love that quote of David Byrne that you mentioned. I haven't heard that before, but I think it reinforces what people love about rock music is it brings it down to earth more, and you can listen to classically trained singers give Italian operas and this and that, and everything is so pristine and perfect, but now you feel like your voice is being heard on the radio with rock music, which is why traditionally bad voices can work. It's also great when you get Freddie Mercury, who are just can blow you away, but there is something really authentic about this. My number 5, I got to give a shout out to my second favorite band ever with Geddy Lee of Rush. I grew up on Rush and didn't really know his voice was weird until people told me that it was. I just figured that it was a normal voice. It's very nasally and high pitched, but it works for their kind of nerdy element. I also think he doesn't get credit as a performing singer and what he can actually do technically. It's the sound of his voice that pisses people off, but he's really going octaves and doing a lot of stuff that he doesn't get credit for. Number 4, I've also got from Clap Your Hands, Say Yeah, Alec Ellsworth. I wanted to put David Byrne on here, but I think this guy is kind of like David Byrne, so I didn't want to double up. He does a lot of stuff that David Byrne does with his sound and his delivery, but it's just got more of like a rural, rustic feel at times than Byrne has. My number 3 is going to be a modern pop artist. Maybe not too modern. I don't think she's put stuff out in a while, but I'm going with Macy Gray. I love her as a singer. I love her as a singer more than I love a lot of her songs, but I do like her work. She, like my number 2, I don't know what it is about these singers, but they sound like their grandparents when they're in their late 20s, early 30s. They've got just this old-timey sound to them, and it works, which is my number 2 is Neil Young. He has sounded old ever since he was young, and it has always worked for me. It brings him down to earth and makes him seem wise. And my number 1 as well, the best bad singer ever, is Jay Mascis, juxtaposed against his just crazy, not lazy at all guitar playing, is this really lazy, sedated, I don't care how this turns out, maybe just do one take and record it kind of version. It just seems really neutral, but I believe everything he's saying. Like when he says it, it is really emotive. You're right. Kind of like Geddy Lee, I never had a problem with his voice until people told me that it was bad, or that I read that it was bad, and I don't think it's bad. I realize that it's bad, but I don't think it's bad.
You want to throw out any extras?
I was thinking a little bit about Ozzy Osbourne. I think that's more just him being an underrated singer. Obviously now he sounds terrible, but back then, maybe just because it was unconventional for the time, but I don't think he gets the love that he deserves. I think he's a good singer.
How about Billy Corgan?
You know, Billy Corgan is not a great singer, and I kind of agree with that. The Pumpkins have never been about his singing to me, so that one didn't really come to mind. And I was kind of debating Eddie Vedder as well. I know a lot of people hate his singing, but I don't. I think that's one of the things that makes Pearl Jam. He's supposed to be over the top and stupidly passionate about stuff, and I don't think you can judge him on the shitty lameness of douche workout singers that have come after him, that have emulated him. And I think that's a problem with music judgment in general. I don't think you can judge followers. Like, I do not like Godsmack whatsoever, but I love Alice in Chains. So, but I can't fault Alice in Chains for producing stuff I hate or influencing stuff I hate. But so I like Eddie Vedder as a singer. I know most teachers would be like, this guy is overseeing the hell out of this. Why is he grunting? Why is he howling? But that's what it is, and it's great.
I've also got Bjork written down, phenomenal singer. Also Daniel Johnston, and I've got Tom Petty and Ringo Starr. That's everyone I had written down. Maybe a quick story before we go. I actually played a show with Alec Ellsworth once. Nice. When I was living in Philly. I was playing with a band, and we got invited to play at a Tom Petty tribute concert. It was like shortly after he died. So we went and we played 3 songs. And Alec Ellsworth was also part of the show, and he played It's Good to Be King, and it was so awesome.
Yeah, especially on Skin of My Yellow Country Teeth, he's purposefully making himself sound bad, but it sounds awesome. He's a good singer. And they're a great band. If you don't know, clap your hands, say, yeah, they're really good.
For sure. Even after sort of their critical acclaim and they're sort of being indie darlings, they went on to keep making good records long after that. So yeah, really good band. All right, well, that does it for Bob Dylan week. It's in the books. Thanks for watching, guys. Hit like, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell so you get notifications, comment below some of your favorite bad singers, and we will see you next time.